welcome to episode 5 of the Rorschach Test podcast. I am your host, Terrell James. Got a special guest with me today, Andre Gibson Jr., owner of Shore Awareness Self Defense. How you doing today, man?
Good, man.
That's good. That's good, man. So, are you familiar with Rorschach Test?
Yeah, now I am. After I've been following you, I seen about one or two of your shows,
Mhm.
so I kind of know a little bit about it.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, before we even get into all of that, I want you to first tell me about who Andre Gibson is and exactly what it is that you do.
All right, cool. So I'm pretty much the owner, like you said, of Short Awareness Self Defense. It is a system now. We teach self defense, teach firearms. We really start from ages 6 and up. So it's a system that's developed for people who want to just come in with confidence. So we still confidence in you. We teach you boxing. We teach you anything from the grappling, how to deal with people on the street, hand contact. We teach you like the weapons defense and all that. These is for like these are for kids, adults, and men who may have been like assaulted on the street. They want to learn how to defend themselves, and they come through our training. We also have firearms. Which has been going crazy now, is people in Maryland that want to get their HQL, which is your license to purchase a firearm, and we teach the concealed carry. It's to carry that firearm on you now in the whole state of Maryland. So with my license, we now train in the whole state of Maryland. So it don't matter which state you live in, you can get your license. So pretty much, that's what the main goal is. The main achievement is just to bring awareness. I
Mhm.
feel like on the shot of the shore, we don't have we don't have anything to look forward to or to look at when it comes to this kind of training. So I'm here. I feel like God has put this on my heart to just train these people and give them all that I know and all that I have. So yeah, that's short awareness self defense.
Got you. So you said you as young as 6 years old.
Yeah,
You,
yeah.
you so you when you say as young as 6 years old, do you mean you're teaching them like hand to hand combat, or are you actually teaching them how to use firearms?
No. So far as firearms, that totally depends on the parent. So you can't actually buy a firearm unless you're 21.
Right.
But parents, if they don't have firearms in the home, even though it's locked up, they slowly like to they slowly like to show their kids how to safely use it. And it's not loaded, but it's like, all right, this is a firearm. This is how we use it. I feel like in our culture, we're always behind the eight ball. I know a couple of friends of mine who pretty much who their parents have taught them how to use a firearm, a shotgun, a rifle at the age of like 4.
Hmm.
Like when they can walk, they are slowly introducing how to use that firearm. So what we do is we instill the safety first, and then we go from there. And when it comes to self defense, we start young. We actually teach at a academy, so we teach at like a school right now, a private school setting, and those kids are pre-K and kindergarten. So yeah, so some of my instructors teach there, and they starting young. They might not get it, but it's just the boxing, what comes with the hand-eye coordination, things that you learn in sports, how to good team building, good team building skills, just the confidence
Right.
to overcome being bullied and stuff like that.
Okay.
So
Okay. So in your experience, do you think that I mean when they start out pretty young, learning how to learning gun safety,
right.
that they are more inclined to be more responsible
Oh
when they get
yeah,
older
yeah,
with handling firearms?
yeah, definitely. I have so my son is 5,
Hmm.
and I have already shown him not how to use it, but I have had my firearms out in front of him. So he already knows, like, when daddy's not around, of course it's locked up and safe,
Right.
but to not ever bother with it because I have already shown him it. So like the fear or
The
like the actual
curiosity.
curiosity of
Yeah.
wanting to go and touch
Hmm.
it
Right.
when I'm not there, it's already out the window. He already asks now, hey dad, he gets excited when we go to the business, when we go to the range, because he knows now he's going to look forward to something.
Okay.
So it definitely still the responsibility young, because this is not a toy. These are things that actually cause bodily harm. So I think it's good to introduce it. Depending on the kid, some kids, the maturity level as a parent, if you know the maturity level isn't there,
Mhm.
then just take your time with it. So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into one of these Rorschach tests. So what I'm going to do. I know you know, but I'm just going to say it again for the people who may be watching for the first time, and hopefully it's not their last. But what we're going to do is I'm going to put a Rorschach test up
okay,
on the screen, and I want you to tell me what it is that you see. Now, based off of what you see, I'm going to try to link it to what it is that you do.
okay,
Okay.
cool,
All
cool.
right. So let me find something here that I think will be interesting.
And when you say what I do as far as like my actual job now,
Yeah.
okay, all right, yeah, it should be fine.
Yeah. All right. Let's go here. Yeah, they really make you think.
Okay.
You want me to go first?
Nah, I mean, I
You got.
kind of see, I kind of see a little bit of both. When I really look at it, the whole picture itself, it looks like a lion with the two eyes, the nose in the middle, and the little beak right there. Um, Mouth with the teeth, the mouth, the fangs at the bottom. Um, and
Mm,
you also have the whiskers on the side too.
mm-hmm.
So it looks like a lion. Definitely looks like a lion when I look at the whole picture. Now, if I really focus in, like in the center, kind of reminds me of like a little bull horns. Um, and then it looks like little animals with their mouth open, staring at the bull from the outside, like a little weird little creature.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
What I see, it looks like the devil in the middle,
Okay,
and it looks like there are a bunch of people around him that are laughing at him.
okay.
Can you see that? You see the devil right here in the middle, and the
Yeah,
horns right
I
there.
see. I see the
So
horns.
all the people on the side, like those look like faces
Yeah,
laughing
yeah, yeah,
at him.
yeah. It does look like faces.
Okay.
Definitely look like their mouths is open.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
got you on that one.
But what I see doesn't matter. I got to try to link what it is that you saw to what it is that you do.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
So, all right. So you said you saw a bull, you saw a lion.
Yeah.
All right. So lion, let's start there. Ferociousness. The king of the jungle. On my last podcast, I had somebody see a lion.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, and I had to link it to him being a radio DJ.
Okay.
Well, or he was a producer as well. So I think
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's how I linked it.
So what's funny is with me being the owner of this business, right now it's my part time.
Mhm.
Guys willing, it's going to be my full time,
Okay.
but I do a lot as a full time employee. So
Mhm.
I'm just curious.
I tell you what. What else is it that you do? And
All
I'm
right,
going to try to link what you saw to both of them.
all right, cool. So I work for the government.
Mhm.
I always say this because when you work for the government, you can't really say certain things. But I work for the government. Um, yeah, I don't. Yeah, so I work for the government
Okay.
full time. So um, that's not where I got my training, knowledge, and experience to do what I do now because that's a conflict. But this is where um I have been able to showcase things and meet nice, cool people. But I work for the government and also am a army soldier. So I am in the Army Reserves. I'm a sergeant in the Army. Been in the Army now for about 6 years. Before I joined the government full time, I worked at a detention center in Talbot County. I was a sergeant there. I ran that jail. I trained those officers in self defense. Um, I did a lot of cool stuff at academies. So yeah, I'm pretty like knowledgeable when it comes to de-escalating situations and just dealing with people. I'm a big guy that loves people. Um, so that just didn't work out in the jail setting. Not
Mhm.
because of what it is. It's just I feel like that it was more to what I could do and what I could give back just into those four corners. So
Okay.
I branched out.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So, well, I can easily link that to being a lion. I mean, it takes a certain level of fearlessness the way lions are. They have the appearance, or people see them as fearless.
right.
Um, it takes a certain degree of fearlessness. Well, a lot of fearlessness to be able to work in the jail system, to be able to, I mean, to be in the military.
Yeah,
Period. And then even with handling guns,
yeah,
because you have to, when you're teaching somebody how to use a weapon that was
it's deadly
created
weapon.
to kill,
Yeah,
and then you're turning this weapon over to them, and who knows what could happen.
yeah,
So it does take a certain level of fearlessness to do that. I mean, um I myself, I am extremely interested in what you do it, and I would love to be able to take, and I am going to take your course,
right.
because I do want to be able to carry. My problem with that is, although I live in Maryland, I am still a DC resident. I'm from DC,
Right.
and on my license still says DC, and there's a part of me that doesn't want to switch over. I got my reasons.
Yeah,
I got my
yeah,
reasons,
yeah. Definitely, definitely.
but in order for me to be able to do that, because I don't think that I'd be able to. Actually, let me ask you something, because you said something earlier. You said anybody from any state could come to you and they could get qualified to
Yeah.
carry.
So how it is, I am a NRA instructor.
Mhm.
So the NRA is pretty much they are like a national they're a national firearms organization. Not even firearms, they're just a national organization
Mhm.
that pretty much all of the states in the United States honor that certification. They honor that instructor. So just depending on the state that you live in, you still got to follow those state laws, but most likely that state is going to honor that certification. So I'm pretty much teaching you the course no matter which state that you live in.
Mhm.
So you live in DC, it may be some restrictions to actually owning that firearm, but inside of the context of it, with that training, you need that training first. You need a SEAL training first, and with that training, that's the training that we offer.
All
So
right.
that's just kind of how it works.
So basically, I could, as far as the training that needs to take place in order for me to be licensed to carry,
Yeah,
I can do that with you. But then there are
correct.
other laws and
Restrictions,
things.
yeah,
Yeah,
for
other
the states.
restrictions. Right, for the
Yeah,
state.
for
Okay.
each state is different.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and that's why when people ask me from other states, I don't mind sitting down with them and going through it all either. Like
Mhm.
trying to figure out how can they carry in their actual state.
Mhm.
I know we mainly focus on here is Maryland and like Delaware because we're close next to each other, like a brother and sister.
Mhm.
But when it comes to other states, I don't mind sitting down with them and my team to find out, besides that restriction, what do they need? Like I know for Delaware, not to really get too crazy, and then you have to like put it in like the newspaper and
Wow.
you have to wait like 7 days or something like that just to be able to carry. But you still need that certification to even go that route, and that's the certification that we offer
So I
and
gotta
teach.
tell everybody that I'm gonna have a gun on me. I don't.
Ain't that crazy?
That is
Because
crazy.
that's why I said I was like, the point of concealed carry is you don't want your
Exactly.
person to know it.
Literally says
Like
concealed.
yeah, conceal for a reason. But it's just weird, man. These laws, these states, I'm still learning about it, still trying to pick my brain when it comes to it.
Mhm.
But I just don't understand half of it. But
Right.
it was already laid out before us, so I just leave it alone right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
can't change the rules because we didn't make the rules. So
exactly. Yeah.
um, I have another question that I want to
Okay.
ask you, but before I do that, I want to put up another Rorschach test. Oh, no, no, no! I want to try to link that to, you say you saw a bull too.
Yeah, yeah. I
Okay,
saw a bull in the middle.
saw a bull in the middle. Let's see here. Bulls, they charge, at you. They see red. They see red. Okay, so what made you decide that you wanted to go into the military?
Honestly, my pops, he was on me, man, about it for a while.
Mhm.
And I was like, nah, I'm not doing it. But what really made me do it is no. Well, shout out to Acme. So I used to work at Acme, what is a grocery store,
Mhm.
and I was like not the front end manager, but like the CSR, like the customer representative.
Mhm.
And I just got tired of like just getting paid that minimum wage, just working so hard. And I was young. I was like still like 19 years old. I was out there for like trying to push carts, and I was like, man, I'm not trying to follow behind my father's footsteps, but I got it. But I had a son. Well, my child's mother got pregnant, and I'm like 19 years old, and I tried college. Right, I tried college my first year.
Mhm.
I you know, try to play ball at Chesapeake College and all that. I was like, man, that's not working. So I just joined the military. I just signed up, and I knew that my dad was in the military for like 10 plus years. I know a lot about it, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna try it out. They always say that it change your life, and honestly, not trying to promote the military because people have their own biased opinion with it, but it definitely like changed me as a man, like it matured me.
Mhm.
So I joined when I was 19, 20 years old. My son was born. I missed his birth. I've been in the military still now for going on 6, 7 years.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm 20. Yeah, I'm 27. So I've been in the military for a while. I learned a lot, met a lot of people, and it's not always war,
Mhm.
but they do train you in your mind. Like they take away the world.
Yep.
When you have the world stripped from you, you just have to solely depend on the people that's in front of you. You learn how to survive,
Mhm.
and it's a mindset thing. Like it kind of corresponds with like it's not a it's not a good thing to do, but if you ever been locked up, like and that's how I kind of like related because people are locked up, like they lost their freedom, man,
Mhm.
and that's why I don't never talk down to no man, like whatever that they did in life to get into that jail setting. That's not my problem. My problem there was just to help them. So a lot of things that I did in jail was just to help them inmates, and I don't call them inmates. I call them by their last name.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You treat them as a man or as a woman, but
That's huge. That's huge.
yeah, definitely, man. Like it's not like people get it twisted when they're SEALs or they in the system. It's like, yeah, I'm in a system. I am here to work for the system to take care of my family. But don't get it twisted. Like I see you as a man. Like
Mhm.
we put on the same drawers away.
Mhm.
We bleed the same way, and that's how I treat people. Treat people with respect, because even though I was in a higher position there, those inmates respect me. Some of them, the little young ones try and gain, try to make a name for themselves.
Mhm.
That's all. That's all good. But the ones that really was trying to better themselves and they made a mistake, that's the ones that I was there and they really try to help. So,
Mhm. Okay.
so that's how I see it too.
So, all right, let me link the bull to what it is that you do. So, watch this. All right, I'm gonna try to put this together. All right. So, when you were working at Acme, you were at a point in your life where you decided this is I can't do this anymore. Did you sometimes have days where you were angry?
Oh yeah.
All right, you saw red.
Okay.
Same way a bull sees red, right? All
Okay.
right, so you saw red,
Yeah.
and then you decided to leave there and you charged.
Just went in
You
for it.
just went in for it.
Yeah.
Yep, you charged, and then you decided to do something else with your life, and you became
Completely
successful.
different. Completely different.
Completely different. Mhm.
Like people don't realize the stuff that I do now. Like I talk to my friends about it. I I am just, like spiritual. So I like to give all glory to God.
Mhm.
But without him, without his guidance, I honestly, when I tell people, I don't know where I would be, bro. Like because if it wasn't for him that led me or put the pressure on me to join the military, and if it wasn't for the military to change my mindset, because I was like in the streets, not like doing like like bad stuff, but I was influenced by my
Mhm.
crowd, by
Right.
my friends, my peers.
Mhm.
And then when I went away and came back, and I was like, damn, they are still doing the same stuff.
Right.
And they switched up on me because I got a correction job, so I became an officer.
Right.
And then it was just
So
like,
now you the ops.
yeah, bro. And I was like,
Yeah.
man, this is a business. Like,
Mhm.
I have a kid. Like, I have a family I need to take care of.
Right.
Like, forget what you saying. Like, my credentials, my background fits with what I'm trying to do.
Mhm.
And then, because I was actually, I actually worked at the detention center right in the town that I was born.
Okay.
So I pretty much had guys that I went to school with because I played ball when I was
Mhm.
younger, sports and all that. So I had a lot of friends or now associates at the time that I went to school with. that was still calling me by my first name, but that's cool. I don't care about that. But they was like, they was just trying to judge me
Mhm.
based on my changes, my direction. But
Mhm.
honestly, man, like the military changed me. They formed me. My son changed me, and now I'm like grateful and successful. God has just blessed me crazily to now, do the things that we're doing now.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna do another test
But
here.
that bull thing was pretty cool, though. I like how you pin that together.
That's
Yeah,
my job
yeah,
here,
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. Cause I was mad at Acme Bull. I need to go. Like, if I get fired.
I understand. You know what? Actually, let me tell you something. So before I do this test, I'm gonna tell you a little story. So I used to work at a bank. Well, I worked at three different banks,
Mhm.
but at this point, this was the third bank that I was working at, and I had I was pursuing a music career, and for some reason in my mind, I thought that I was so good that a record deal was supposed to just fall out of the sky.
Regular, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, I was good. I was great, but I, it took a while for me to realize that I needed to start putting in work. So once I realized that, I said, this 9 to 5 thing is in the way.
Yeah.
I need to figure out something else. I decided that I wanted to become a life and health insurance agent. I wanted to do something that I could do through the bank,
Mhm.
get trained through the bank, and then it would get me out of the office and allow me freedom and give me more money because I knew that I needed to travel.
Oh yeah.
I had connections in Atlanta, in Houston, and in California. I knew that I needed to travel. So I asked our regional manager one day. I said, "Listen, I want to get licensed as a life and health insurance agent. Well, what do I need to do? Or does the bank offer classes?" That's what I asked her, and she said, "No, the bank doesn't offer classes." I said, "Oh, all right, cool." So about 2 weeks later, my sales manager came to me and she just brought me all of this paperwork and just dropped it on my desk, and she said, "Hey, can you take care of the stuff for me? I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks." I said, "Where you going?" She said, "I got life and health insurance class." I said, "Really?" I
Mhm.
said, who's giving you those classes?" She said, "I got it through the bank." I said,
Mm.
"That's funny because I almost said her name. Because so and so said
That's
that
crazy.
said that we can't. I mean that the bank didn't offer those classes."
Hmm.
So I actually sat there for a second, and we had these really really high ceilings, and at the top of the ceilings, like it was so high that there were these windows that were right below the ceiling,
Hmm.
and it was so high that you could only see the sky. So I sat there for a second. I looked at the sky and I looked at the front door. I looked at the sky and I looked at the front door. I just kept going, looking back and forth.
Like, what am I about to do?
But I was looking at that it was the glass ceiling,
Hmm.
that proverbial glass ceiling. You can see the top, but you can't reach the top. So that's what that was for me. And I said, if I stay here, I'm going to continue to hit my head on this glass ceiling. But if I go out that front door, then the sky's the limit.
It's out there, man.
Shortly afterwards, I left that job, and I've been self-employed ever since. That was 2005, 2006 of 2006, and I've been self-employed ever since. I went ahead, I took a chance on myself, but what happened was I was put into a position where I saw red.
Hmm.
I became that bull, and I came out charging, and it's
Yeah,
it
that's big.
yeah, it's been a rough
Yeah,
road because you have your
yeah,
times where you're like, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this month,
yeah.
and
I don't know how
then
to provide, but
and then there are other times I'm like, this is a great month.
it's always a way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But I put my
it's
faith
big.
in God.
It's big.
Thankfully, my mother was there to help me a
Yeah.
lot. Um, and just her support. Just knowing that I always had her, and my father as well. But my mother was the one that was more vocal
Yeah.
about the support, and she was just always in my corner. And but I was able to turn into that bull at that moment because I saw red and I charged. I got up out of there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
And look at you now.
Yeah. Right. Right. Look at me now.
Yeah, that's it. That's it, bro.
So speaking of bull, I'm going to put up another Rorschach test that kind of reminds me of a bull. Kinda.
Okay. Are you ready for me?
Hmm.
All right. I see like kind of see like three things right now, which is kind of weird. All right, the first thing that I seen like a pig. Right, I seen the little ears, the eyes in the middle, and then the pig turned into a man with a mustache, but like a man with a mustache with like a mask on. I think it's from the Purge. Like I watch too many like crazy stuff at night, but like the Purge, so the movie in the Purge, they had a little mask on, and that's who this guy, well, not guy, this figure reminds me of a man with a mustache on with a mask on.
Mhm.
And then it's crazy because it's like it's something coming out of his mouth, and that's like I don't. It's like a head, like a cartoon head or something. It looks evil though. The way
Mhm.
the eyes is,
Mhm.
it look evil. It's charging out his mouth. So
All right, so I did this on my very first podcast, and I saw a pig too. Me and my guest, we both saw a pig, and we came to the conclusion that that's a Hitler mustache on the pig. So this looks like Hitler pig right here. We have named this one Hitler
yeah,
pig.
yeah, yeah,
So it was interesting that you saw the same thing. You see the pig, you see the mustache.
yeah.
Okay, so let's go to a place that oh boy, I kind of hesitate to say this, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say
All
it.
right, go ahead.
You saw a pig.
Yeah.
When you were working in the jail, did they refer to you as a pig because they
Um,
saw you as a cop?
like I want to say no, but what I do now, kind of tell a little bit more. What I do now, yeah,
Okay,
like they refer to us as pigs.
okay. I I said I hesitated to do that because I don't want to make that connection like that.
Nah,
I
nah,
just,
yeah, it's a little
this
easy.
just making this clear. This ain't
Yeah,
me saying it.
yeah,
This
yeah,
is
yeah,
me
yeah, yeah,
seeing if
yeah,
other people are saying it.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
all
yeah.
right.
But
The
it's all good. Like I said, it's a real touchy subject because like how the world is going.
right,
So
mhm,
it puts me in an uncomfortable situation
right,
because it's like this business is taking off, and I'm
mhm,
like, man, it's just tough right now. Like my family definitely understand what I'm going through
right,
when it's like what I do for a living compared to my heart.
right,
Um, it's like I make really good money in my job right now.
mhm,
It's not an ordinary job that you see on the street. I'm not a person, so we could talk about a little bit. I'm not the person that's gonna pull you over.
okay,
I do other stuff, but the point is, it doesn't matter. It still looks the same
right,
to a eye on the outside,
right,
and it's at a point where whatever I do, I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability.
mhm,
So whatever is going on in the world, that's not me. Like I'm gonna do my job and I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability. So I can't be like, nah, I don't support that because if I go to work, like that's my job. I'm not gonna leave I'm not gonna leave my other guys or girls down.
mhm,
But vice versa, when I'm not at work, kind of bothers me
right,
because not to go down the road, but I'm in that skin.
right,
So it's a
mhm,
touchy subject because
yeah,
it's like even though I'm not, or my job is not um in the public's eye per se,
mhm,
I still am seen as what the public sees
right,
when I'm at work. When I'm not at work,
mhm,
I dress the way I dress, I talk the way I talk, I run the business where I run it, and it's just different.
mhm,
So I'm in a guy. Do I stay here because you got me here, or is it like I don't know. I battle with it every night, honestly.
mhm.
And with the military, did you see that video?
Yes,
What to do in the
yes,
military?
yeah,
Like my girl right here, like I cry. Like I was on the
mhm,
couch, like I don't really cry, but like she'll tell you like it hurt me
mhm,
because I'm serving this country,
right.
and
And to
like
know that
I
you could
honestly
have been there.
wear three uniforms. So when I say three uniforms, like my skin,
Mhm,
that badge, and that uniform, that military uniform.
mhm,
So I wear three uniforms. So it's tough. It's
right.
tough to I kind of could see both sides of it, but not really understand how to put it together. So that's what frustrates me.
Do you sometimes feel like those uniforms all clash at times?
Oh yeah. Like what you mean far as clash?
Do you feel like being a black man in that uniform that sometimes do you ever feel like sometimes I see. I
No,
I,
I
I
just
want to
said
be.
it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know, but I
no.
see the thing is, I don't want you to say something that's going to come back on you. But
Nah, like
you,
the way how it is at my job, like I'm trained, man. Like it's weird. Like
okay,
I ain't it's really not a lot that yeah, but you can say your answer.
okay.
Yeah, you can
Do
ask your
you
question.
do you feel like as a black man you shouldn't be wearing that uniform at times?
So I see what you're saying. I can't answer
Okay. All right.
that.
Okay.
I can't answer that. But what I can say is that whatever I do as a father, I do it to the best of my ability.
Right.
When I'm a soldier, I take care of my soldiers to the best of my ability. When I put on that uniform, I do it to the best of my ability.
Mm-hmm.
So just because that I'm feeling this way doesn't not going to stop me while I'm still in that uniform. But what I can do is build good relationships.
Right.
So what I see on the street, I laugh even though I'm not in the streets. I
Mm-hmm.
still laugh because it's like when I was in the jail, like I see a lot of stuff in the jail that's corrupt. I'm like, yeah, they're corrupt, but I'm not. So it's not a lot of things that's gonna break my integrity. So I'm gonna treat people the same and do what I could do to shine a light and be what God wants me to be towards those people that I meet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it hurts. It do hurt to see the things that I see because it's unjust. It's not fair.
Right.
Um, it's the way that the system is. It's a whole nother subject, and it's like you can't change something that you didn't build.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's just that. Even though people have their own opinion, like we gotta break it down from the ground up. Yeah, I agree, but how are we gonna do that if we ain't start it, if we ain't build it?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
hard.
That's
And
true.
it's hard to tell my son about it too, because
Mm-hmm.
it's like he sees me in all these uniforms, and I'm like, bro, like just be what you want to be, and I'm gonna support you, long as you ain't out here, doing them crazy. But
Mm-hmm.
I got this, but I already got his back. So I
Right.
don't I don't push nobody to do something that I'm doing just for the money. Like really have your heart into it.
Right.
So
Yeah. I know that that's a very difficult conversation to have with your son.
oh yeah.
I've had to have the conversation over the years with mine, and I know one of the hardest things I had to try to explain to him is that sometimes you are guilty of being innocent,
Yeah.
and like you didn't do anything wrong, but
That's what sucks though.
yeah,
Like because honestly, yeah, let's talk about it a little bit because it's gonna get me a little mad.
okay,
Nothing crazy, but it's like the way that the system is. Don't got nothing to do with my job, but the way
hmm
that the system is, I think is implicit bias.
hmm
So, um, the way that people are, and not even just my job. That's with any job. That's with the military. That's with the jail. That's what I do now. And that's what even if I hire somebody to work for the business, your background, your life is you. Like people change, but if you was brought up in one culture, in one era, like that's what your parents, that's all that you know.
right,
Like if you went to, let's just say, if you went to an all white school and you're white, and now you're policing or now have to work with a black person, it's not that you're racist, you just don't know. So you're only going to know what your parents taught you. And if your parents was racist, let's call it what it is,
hmm
they have instilled in those traits
right,
as a young person.
hmm
And that's what I'm seeing. Like again, not with my job, but
make that
that's
clear.
what I'm seeing on the outside is that you have these trained individuals, trained. When I say train, I mean certification academy trained, right?
Mhm,
But they're put into a environment that they have never seen before.
mhm,
And the way that the academy trains them, they train them for the worst. So they don't really train you how to talk to people. They just train you how to like not die. So it's like
mhm.
you're trained to not die. Now you put in a environment that um with people that you've never seen before that don't look like you.
Mhm. I had a friend who was married to a cop, and she said that every time he left home, his thought was, "I just need to get back here.
That's it.
That's it." You know.
Period.
And so, when you hear that, it does kind of, you try to, and then I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of
Yeah,
friends who are cops, but I have a lot of friends who have either been in the streets or are still in the streets.
yeah,
And I'm seeing both
both,
sides.
both.
I'm
Yeah,
hearing things on both ends, and I'm like, because I'm the person where I want to be open to the other side. I
yeah,
don't want to be quick to I don't want to be quick to anger, and I don't want to be quick to just assuming that your story is wrong
yeah.
and my story is right. I understand now, through growth, through wisdom, and through just communicating with people, just conversations. I understand now that there could be two different truths. I
Hmm.
have my truth, you have your truth.
And
And,
then there's a truth. I always told somebody that it's three stories.
mhm,
Like, so you have A and B, and then a C. So you got to go with, all right, the person said this person said that. Now let's put together what they both said in common,
right,
and that's mainly
mhm,
really all that goes down. But
right,
I definitely agree. Like, it's just a difficult, touchy subject now with this world. Even every day, I feel like it's something new.
mhm,
But
yeah,
how I seen it growing up is that, like I said, I never knew that I was going to be in this field, and how I seen it growing up, it was just like I felt like, and this is just me. Well, now I'm here. Somebody got to do it.
mhm,
Somebody got to be the difference.
mhm,
And it's not me really making a difference at my job, because really, like I said, we're not on the front line like how you see on in the public.
right,
But somebody got to do it. Meaning, when I come home and I have that on, I'm still different. Like, I always do it. Like, when I go into the store and I'm coming home from work, I'll buy somebody coffee, whatever. I'll talk to people,
mhm,
because I'm breaking that barrier. Like, when you meet me, like, people don't even know what I do. They probably still not gonna catch it from here, because it's not. I don't want to be known as that. I want to
right,
be known as Andre.
right,
And whether you meet me through the business, through my job, do whatever, like, I'm a man first. I bleed the same way that you bleed, and I'm gonna treat you with respect.
mhm,
So hope I wish a lot of people could be like us,
right,
but you know
yeah,
that's just how the world is. You can't everybody get their cards. This is how you play them.
mhm, yeah, definitely. Man, I had another question for you. I can't remember what it was. It'll come back to me. I'm gonna pull up another test, and then I do have another question that I wanted to ask earlier, but I want to get into that. All right, what do you see here?
Man, what is that?
This is my first time looking at this one. I downloaded a bunch of them, but I haven't really gone through all of them. But this one,
Um,
it's my first time.
well, I feel like it's a mirror to It look like, it's about to sound crazy.
I
It
promise you, it won't be crazier than what I see.
it look like it's a unicorn that's in a mirror. So it's a unicorn going to your right and to your left, but it's corrupted. So it's like sick or something,
Hmm.
because it's old. It got long hair at the top, and it's just patches of hair is on his back and stuff. Excuse me. And underneath it look like some wings though. Unicorn on wings. Like,
Hmm.
yeah.
Unicorn on wings. What I see, it's funny you said that because I see the unicorns too. But to me, it looks like two unicorns jumping out of a vagina.
Oh yeah, I can see the hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I can see the hole. I just don't. Wait a minute. Now I'm really trying to look at
So for everybody who can't see us in here, Andre's wife is in here, and
it.
she can't believe he just said that.
so hey, it is what it is. It's what's cool about these tests is, like, we all have these different perspectives, these different views on
Mhm.
life, on how we see things,
Uh-huh.
and, like, it's funny how, like, somebody, it's not like they're forcing your hand, but they could persuade you to see what they're seeing,
Hmm.
and that's just life.
Right.
Like, whatever side that I'm showing you, I could persuade you to see that.
Hmm.
you know.
Right. All right. So you said you saw two unicorns. You saw and it was like a mirror image
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
of the unicorns. All right. Unicorns are very rare, one of a kind. Do you believe that you are rare and one of a kind when it comes to what it is that you do? Now, before you even answer that, I have an answer to that.
I was about to say, man, I got you.
Yes.
So you want to go? You want to go first?
Yes, I
All
want to
right.
go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Based off of everything that you have said in this interview, yes, you are very, very different. Um, I see in my interactions with people in can I say law enforcement? Is that what you can you
I'm not gonna
okay. All right, got you. All right. No, 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 don't worry about it. All right, so but I tell you what, we'll go back to the whole when you were working in the jail.
Okay.
All right. So I've heard people who are extremely aggressive with the inmates. You said that
Mhm.
you called them by their last name.
Yeah,
You showed
definitely.
them respect. It was different. I've heard people say that they just are extremely disrespectful to the inmates because they give them what the inmates gave them first.
It's your job.
And so, but I very, very, very rarely heard what you have said where you try to relate and connect to them. You see them as men and women. You call them by their last names. You show them that respect. I haven't seen that a whole lot. Not saying that I haven't seen it at all. I definitely, well, not seen it. I've never been locked up, but
Right.
I mean,
Heard
but
stories about
heard
it.
because, like I said, I have a lot of friends who are in law enforcement or have even worked in jails,
Mhm.
and I mean, I hear the stories. I
Yeah.
hear the stories. They share things with me, but it's rare that like you are a unicorn.
Yeah.
When it comes to that.
Yeah.
Okay, now you can answer that.
So yeah, I have a whole testimony, and I know you're about to try to pull for it. But long story short, without even going to the really really small big details, um, for temporary, that's how I'm gonna say this. All right, temporarily, I lost it all. Like I lost everything that I worked hard for in a split second. And I say my faith is because like I feel like that the closer I ran away from my calling, and my calling isn't to like preach the word of gospel and save people and all. But my calling is to be a light. So it's to be myself through God, to always never put myself before Him. And people in this world, they get the whole Jesus and Jesus, Buddha, whatever. Like to me, it's one God. I'm not gonna go into the Jesus and the Quran and all that either because I totally respect everybody's opinion. But to me, it's one God, and we all serve just that one God. Even the Quran believe in Allah, which is God, but they believe in a certain way, which is I totally respect it. But what I'm saying is, I would never put myself before Him,
Hmm.
and I always said I wanted to be a light. So what happened was I lost it all. I got this job. I was making double what I was making, man. I was getting paid, making double what I was making. This job required you to really have a degree. I don't have a degree. I'm ready to go back to college now, but I don't have a degree. And I lost it. Like I literally was in a certain type of situation with my past ex or whatnot, and I lost it. And it was a test though. So through it all, I feel like no matter my purpose on life, even like when I was younger, I felt like that things that happened to me that I was just guarded. Like my friends got locked up for certain things, and I was right there with them, but I didn't. So I always just felt like that it was God just keeping His hands on me. So now, even though I was just get talked on, even prior that you can't tell, when I was younger, I used to stutter bad, man. Like stuttered bad. I got made fun of and all that, and I was like, "Yo, why they making fun of me?" But I had to understand that, like, that if that's the best that they could do, and if they can throw rocks at you and they don't break you down all the way, then you're gonna learn from it, right? Then you're gonna live, then you're gonna build yourself up. So I always said that I was like, no matter what them enemies said to me in there, my job here is to be the light. Eventually, they're going to hear me.
Right.
Eventually, somebody gonna be like, yo, hey, you know what, Sergeant Gibson, like, yo, I'm sorry, and that's what a lot of them said, like, yo, you're not like them, like you're different.
Hmm.
So I feel like that my job now is it's not my job, but if I can interact with anybody, I'm gonna try to guide them to God, and if it's not me guiding them to God, but it's just me being their helping hand, doing whatever that I could do in my power to make sure that they're changed, because it's going to reciprocate. I talked to you about good stuff. I gave you good energy. Then you go home, you gave your wife good energy, and vice versa. Like your wife could be having a bad day right now, but you come home from this podcast, you're like, you know what? Yeah, I just met this dude, and you just want to do something different. And that's just how the world needs to be. It need to be loving, stop hating.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely. You know what? I've said that many times that the biggest issue with the world is that there's not enough love. That's it.
definitely,
That's it. And there's too much passion and not
yeah,
enough compassion. And there's nothing wrong with having
yep,
passion, but when you are so passionate about something that you begin to lack compassion for somebody else just because they look differently or
yep,
think differently or act differently or love differently or believe or worship differently,
yep,
that's when the problem comes in.
definitely.
But yeah, there definitely needs to be more people like you with your mindset and with your heart, with your character. Um,
I
and and
appreciate you, man.
and in that sense, yeah, you definitely are a unicorn because we don't see that very often these days. And it's not saying that there aren't good people. There's a
Yeah,
lot of good people. I honestly believe there are more good people than bad people,
yeah, that's
but the
what I
bad
said too.
people are the loudest.
Yeah, that's what I was ready to say too. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, I sit down and write a book for you. Like, my life wasn't always like in the light. Like, I have done some bad things too, but I have learned from my mistakes. A lot of people don't even. First thing that people don't do is acknowledge when they're wrong.
Hmm.
Like, I tell you in a minute, yo, I'm wrong. Like, even when I'm not wrong, and I'm like, yo, I'm wrong,
Hmm.
because you have to acknowledge it first.
Right. Yep. Yep. That's and then correct the mistake.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I hate
Yeah,
when people say, "Well, at least I can admit that I'm wrong."
but
Don't
you
admit
doing the
if you're not
same.
going to do anything about it.
Exactly.
You know.
That
So,
is true too.
all right, let's see if I can liven this thing up a little bit for you.
Hey, cool, cool.
All right, go here.
I see a whole bunch of eyes, man. Oh man, yeah. Um, See, the thing is with me, I never really watched a lot of like cartoons stuff like that.
Mhm.
Besides the Power Rangers, like I was big in Power Rangers. So this looks like a
I
Power
hated the
Ranger.
Power
This
Rangers.
what
Yeah,
man? Power Rangers, the Ninja
but I'm
Turtles.
older than you though, so
Yeah,
you know.
the Power Rangers, the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I did love Ninja Turtles.
What was that other nice movie back in the day? There was three little ninjas. Like it was Tommy. Oh
Hold on,
man,
wasn't it Three Ninjas?
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yo, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. Like I gotta
Yeah.
go home and watch that tonight. The Three Ninjas when it was Tommy. Yo, that was my joint. There was red, blue, and green. Oh man, that was my movie. But this right here reminds me, it's just a whole bunch of eyes that like the Power Rangers ready to take over and hurt them. they ready, they ready to get them.
um, I see some enchanted land. Um, I see the ground of an enchanted land. Like if somebody is just walking through some enchanted land or whatever,
Okay.
and that's what the ground looked like. The green part is like the bushes or the grass growing out of the ground, and
Okay.
the purple part is like when you step on that, you feel some sort of like it gives you power,
Yeah.
give you some sort of power from some enchanted land or whatever. But
Mm,
um,
that's dope. I feel like you're in the Matrix. You know how you was in the Matrix?
mhm,
Well, the green reminds me of the Matrix a
right,
little bit.
uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. That's pretty dope.
Yeah. So, all right, but you see a bunch of eyes. So when you made a decision to get into to work in the jail, to actually, like I said earlier, become the ops to a lot of your friends,
Yeah.
that did you feel like it was all eyes on you at that
Oh,
point?
yeah. and
and not just from
and it
them,
was
but from the people who supported you as well. Because
yeah, man.
now it's like, okay, you've made a huge step. You went from acne to, now you're
Man,
in the
artists.
military.
Yeah.
You're working in the jail.
Yeah.
So it's like everybody is like focused on you. Okay, like, do you feel like it's all eyes on you now?
Um,
And did you feel like that back then as well?
I'm not gonna say now because I've been in this field for like 6 years now, but definitely when I first joined the jail, it was hard.
Hmm.
My first 6 months, it was hard because it felt like that even when I went to go play basketball at the YMCA, like people was just they knew, so it
Hmm.
was just like
They didn't really want to be around
even like the dudes that smoking weed and all that. I'm like, bro, I don't care. Like
you.
I'm just trying to hoop. I'm still the same person. Like that's what y'all do. Just
Mhm.
one thing that I said when I got in the government job was just don't do it around me. Like,
Right.
but if you want to talk about it, we could talk about it. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't. That's your life. I'm not gonna judge you. I'm not gonna snitch on you.
Mhm.
Like, but people don't realize like most people in that field, and I can just speak on my friends that I know that work in the jail setting,
Mhm.
and without being disrespectful in here, we don't give a flying duck what you do. Like, honestly, don't. We're there to do our job and we're out. So
Mhm.
when I go home, I'm not telling my your homeboys that you in there snitching or in there doing
Mhm.
whatever you're in there. I don't care, bro. Like
Mhm.
I have a whole life outside of there.
Right.
So when I see people on the street and they be trying to duck and hide because whatever happened in jail, bro, that's weird. Like
Mhm.
we're good, Like so,
Mhm.
yeah, I felt like there was a lot of odds on me, man. Like just to answer your question, it was just wherever I went, I felt like that I had that I had to look over my shoulder.
Mhm.
I felt like um that people was judging because I was just dude that played basketball and all that, and then I just switched up on them.
Mhm.
And because of my mom too. So my mom worked like two jobs for a while, and I was just always outside, like in this area with this group of people who didn't do bad stuff, but was kids,
Right.
kids just do
Just
all
being
kinds of
kids.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I see them because they made wrong mistakes, and I'm like trying to talk to them, and they like, man, I'm not gonna talk to you. I'm like, all right, bro, but you ain't here by yourself then.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. All right. I'm going to throw a couple of words out to you,
okay.
and I want you to tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. Um, it doesn't have to be just one word, just whatever comes to your mind. Okay. All right. Terrorism,
Fighting, war,
family.
love.
I forgot the other ones. I have them written down. I have them in my phone, and I don't remember what the other ones are. You you know what? So let me tell you something. So sometimes what I do with my guests, I have these pictures that I put up
uh,
that aren't Rorschach tests, and then I'm like, all right, tell me what you see.
mhm.
And but it's always something funny or something to try to throw you off your game. And I I had a picture here, and I took it off, but I'm going to tell you what it was because, and I hesitate to do this because I can't stand this dude, and I don't want to give him any type of um I don't want to give him any type of recognition. But um I'm gonna do it anyway because, and the reason I want to do this is because you're younger. I'm 40 years old. You said
Mm.
you're 27, right?
Yeah, I'm about to be 28 in
Oh,
June.
okay. So I wanted to talk to somebody who was younger than me, and especially with somebody who's in your position
Okay.
about how they felt about this. Takashi, the rapper Takashi 69.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I was looking at you like Takashi, because that's his government. But yeah, 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 yeah.
um, so
Okay.
do you know the whole story with Takashi?
With him going to jail,
Yeah.
snitching and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know parts of it.
Okay. So, well, I tell you what, then maybe we can take it off of him then because I can't stand him. Snitching.
Yeah.
I want to talk about snitching.
All right. Cool.
All right. What? All right. What's your take on snitching?
Snitches get stitches. It's like, but real rap. Like I feel like that. if and I had never been in that game.
Mhm.
You know, like I said, there was like that shield around me. I have my family members been in that field, but I have never personally.
Right.
But what I can say is, if you're gonna be in that game, bro, then that's what come with it, right?
Mhm.
Like that that lifestyle comes. So if you're making your money, make your money, and if you get caught, then you knew the price that you were gonna pay.
Right.
So
Yeah.
don't try to throw another man under because you got jammed up. Do your time.
Hmm.
And that comes with anything. That comes with integrity.
Right.
So that's with me. Like if my job pull me up on something, I'm not gonna go, no, 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 that's my hey yo, this is what I did.
Hmm.
And that's what you gotta do on the polygraph. Like you gotta tell the truth.
Hmm.
For the most part, anyway, but that's another story. But yeah, snitches, like unless it's something like life and death, like like something corny, like if it's like with your kids or like some I don't know how to make it seem like it's okay, but
Hmm.
like for my son, I'm like stop snitching,
Hmm.
but don't lie, like don't hide nothing from me.
Right. Right.
You know, it's a
Hmm.
different principle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
What you feel like?
I believe that if you don't subscribe to that lifestyle, then it's not snitching.
Yeah.
If you, I mean, like, I'm a civilian. I don't,
Yeah.
so, but I also come from that. Don't snitch,
Yeah.
don't talk. But the funny thing about it is, before I ever heard no snitching, don't tell. Before I ever heard
Mm.
that, I felt I felt the way about telling on somebody. I
Yeah.
remember I was in fifth grade and I had somebody was like grabbing my foot. We were in line about to go into the
Mm-hmm.
classroom, and somebody was grabbing my foot. And I first time I snatched my foot away, and then they grabbed it again. I snatched my foot away again, and they grabbed it the third time. But this time I lifted my leg as if I was going to kick them. I didn't
Yeah.
kick them, but I lifted my leg as if I was going to kick them. And that's when the teacher came, and she saw me do that. So I got in trouble. And she's asking me. She was like, "Terrell,
What
why were
happened?
you about to kick him?" And I couldn't bring myself to say because he grabbed my foot because I didn't want to tell on
Oh nah, that's not me, bro.
him.
So when it comes to that kind of stuff, I feel like that if we don't instill that into our children, just me, my own personal opinion, then our kids is going to raise up feeling that they got high stuff, you know, that they got to lie.
Mhm.
So in your scenario, that don't got nothing to do with discreet. So what I'm saying, snitching, that come with discreet code, like you in that.
Right.
But
Mhm.
when it comes to, like you said, us as civilians on the outside, you gotta tell. Like I always tell my son because I train them. So I'm like, yo, the first one is a gimme. It's a freebie. Somebody hit you, you around a teacher, tell your teacher.
Mhm.
Second time, your teacher, you already told your teacher. I'll just take that phone call.
Mhm.
Like, because I'm telling you to do what you do
Right.
at a certain extent. Control yourself.
Mhm.
But if you keep getting hit on and stuff, first one, tell the teacher, take it on the chin.
Yep.
Second time, yeah, they maybe calling me
Mhm.
because that little boy or girl, not girl, but that little boy,
Mhm.
little
Right.
Johnny.
Mhm. Yeah.
I need to hear about that.
Right.
So
But and I think like for me back then it was I didn't want to get anybody in trouble,
yeah,
and I just grew up with that, and that was before the whole before I ever heard no snitching or whatever. I just didn't feel right about getting anybody in trouble. However, if I got in trouble, I wanted to address it with him.
yeah,
Like you got me in trouble. All right, so
yeah,
let's go handle this.
yeah,
But I've but and it's to your point about what you said to your son, man. Each time that I got suspended for fighting, I never got in trouble with my parents
no,
because I never threw the first punch.
mm-hmm,
I I never initiated anything, so they didn't come. They knew I was just defending myself each
yeah,
time, and and it. I mean, for me, like, cause I won the fights,
yeah.
and then I got suspended, and I never understood suspension because in my mind, I got a day off of school, and I won the fight. Man, I can't wait till
Yeah,
somebody swing at me
yeah, and
again.
then because these fights in school now, that's why these kids that we train, it's hard, man. Because like bullying is even 10 times worse than when I was in school,
Yeah.
because they have phones.
Hmm.
So if that
Yeah.
thing hits the IG or
Yeah.
Facebook, it's over.
It's bad.
Especially if you get beat up.
It's
So
bad.
a lot of kids just this is bad. I know for us, like, and I like I'm old, but back in the day when I actually went to school, if you fought, yeah, you may got to stay home the next day if you got black eye. Not because you got in trouble, just because you didn't want to see
Right.
how
Yeah.
how bad your eye was, but you didn't come to school with like it being tagged on your Facebook or people tagging you in
Yeah.
there. They're talking about you on social media. That's something to live with. That's
No.
rough. And even myself, I'm like, man, if I get put on these one of these little videos,
Mhm.
psh, I better put on,
Yeah. Right.
like that.
Yeah.
It's no question,
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
I just feel bad for these kids growing up, man. It's
Hmm.
just a different type of beast out there.
Yeah. It is. It is. And now, because of the internet, nothing's going to go away
No,
ever.
it's on there.
Ever. 30, 40 years ago, somebody can pull this up
And
on
the
the
thing
internet.
is, like, you could post something and delete it, and then
Hmm.
somebody else already got it though.
Exactly.
They already screenshot it or
Exactly.
whatever, so they
Because they're
got
already
that thing.
sharing it,
Yeah,
and yeah, everybody's
it's
already
gone.
seen it. The one good thing about it is people have a very short attention span. So
Yeah,
as soon as something else happens, they're on to
the
the next thing.
the next hot topic.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
Until it shows up on somebody's memories on Facebook and then
yeah.
they
It's like, oh, you
repost
remember?
it.
That's bad because if you get into a fight in this day now, 10 years later, when that memory come out, they're like, yo, I remember when you got punched in your face. That's there you go. I had to watch the whole video over.
Right, yeah. Yeah, man.
That's
It
bad.
sucks. It sucks. And that's another conversation that I do have with my son. That you got to be careful because you're in a time right now where everybody has a camera
Yep.
and everybody wants to be the first to say, hey, I reported on this.
Hmm.
Everybody wants to be a reporter and they want to be the first, and they want it. I mean,
They want that publicity.
yeah, it's ridiculous, man. And we're in a very, very dangerous time because
Yeah.
we're at a time where, even though I believe that everybody deserves to have a voice, I don't believe everybody deserves to have a platform.
Hmm.
And because there are way too many people who use their platform irresponsibly.
Like what we said earlier, violence. When you promote violence, like, and not love,
Hmm.
when you're promoting hate,
Hmm.
that's, I mean, that's the root of all evil. So,
Hmm.
so like, we ain't doing nothing but instilling that into our
Hmm.
children. It's a
Right.
generational curse.
It is.
The next generation is going
It
to be
is.
10 times worse than us.
Hmm. It is. It is. And that's why I show my son as much love as possible. My
Definitely.
son, he'll be 16 in next week. I still hug him. I still kiss him,
And that's what I
and that's
said.
not ever going to
Yeah,
stop.
like it's crazy because I made a post. Well, not made a post, but I screenshotted me and my son conversation this morning and put it on Facebook,
Hmm.
and it got like a lot of likes and comments, and people was like, oh, that's so sweet. And in my mind, I'm like, thank you, but in my mind, like that should be the normal.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
me telling my son I love him is normal, like
Hmm.
because even though like some kids I never heard that. I'm like, especially my mom, like me and my mom love each other to death, but we just never told each other we love each other. Like it was just normal.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing like, oh, I mean, that's messed up. Like it was normal.
Hmm.
Like and the way that you're raised, because
Yeah.
her mom's mom probably never told him that they love him.
Right.
But it's just weird how me and my son is now. Like
Hmm.
I grew up with like not telling your parents that you love them every day.
Hmm.
Now it's a norm. Now it's like as soon as I get off the phone with him or text him, yo, I love you.
Right.
Like I love you, son.
Yeah.
Like I love you because he has to know it's okay from another man to say that he loves you.
Right. Yeah.
It's not. I know I gotta watch what I say because it's
Hmm.
publicity, but it's not wrong
Hmm.
to tell somebody that you love him, that you love him. Like
Hmm.
it don't make you weak.
Mm-mm.
Like
I
it
mean, if
don't.
anything, it makes you strong.
Yeah.
Love makes you strong. It
Yeah.
does. Okay. All right. We are going to wrap it up
Okay.
soon, but before we do, let's do one more test. Uh,
I feel like that everything I say is dark, so I'm trying to trying to bring some light to this. Mm.
Even if it is dark, it's okay.
I
And
I still see the same. I see that bullhorn.
Mm-hmm.
But the more I look at it, I I see like a tree branch with a pine cone hanging upside down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I see. I do see the tree branch, but that looks like a beehive in the middle to me.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't see it quite the beehive because I don't see nothing flying out of it.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? But
Okay.
it kind of do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It kind of like it be both. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. All right. So you said so a tree branch
with a
with a
pine cone.
pine cone
Yeah.
hanging upside down. I'm supposed to link this to what it is that you do. All right. So trees. There's growth there. Branches branching out. There we go. All right. So where you are right now with your career, is this it for you, or do you plan on branching out and trying to go to other levels with what you're doing?
What you mean as other level? Like still do in my same field, but just do some more stuff with it.
Yeah. Are you
Oh
looking?
yeah.
Are you looking for this to grow?
So the thing is, yeah, because it's a lot of stuff that's already going on now.
Mhm.
It's just we haven't even launched it yet, but it's a lot. It's a lot, and it's good things. But short awareness self defense has been the foundation, and it's a lot more things that's ready to grow from that.
Mhm.
That's already in place now. So I'm actually excited. In the next month or two, I'll be dropping that too. So that's
Okay.
pretty cool.
Well, I'll be looking forward
Oh
to that.
yeah, man, I got you.
Yeah, I have nothing for that pine cone, so I'm just gonna leave that one alone. But
Yeah, yeah.
so before we get out of here, I want you to let everybody know where they can get in contact with you, so that in
Okay.
case anybody's interested in taking your class.
Yeah, so please follow us on Facebook at Shore Awareness Self Defense. And you can also follow us on the website at our webpage at www.sasdmd.com. You can follow us on IG at SASDMD, and that's short awareness self defense. If you want to learn about boxing, self defense training for women's, we have a women's cardio workout. If you want to learn about firearms, not even just get your license, just want to train in firearms. We do helmet evasion training. We do seminars, like we do simulator training. We just throw it all at you, man. If you want to learn, and you want to be trained well, come and holler at us. I got you.
All right, sounds good. So before we go, I have one more picture, and I'm sure that you're going to see this
Okay.
picture just as accurately as I see it. All right.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Like this is honestly my first podcast,
Mm-hmm.
so I never been on a podcast before, and this is dope. Like I actually like it. I like the mic. I feel like I'm in the booth right now, ready to spit some rap. I cannot rap, but this is dope, man. I actually like what you're doing. I see this going far, even with your business, even with this. Like this is just the beginning. Oh, you're a good dude. You make the floor, you make everything, you make the environment real comfortable. So I like what you're doing. Keep on doing great things, man.
I appreciate that so
Yes,
much, man. But
sir.
can you do me a favor? Can you just read it for me?
This is the greatest podcast ever.
And I couldn't agree more. Thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much.
Thank you for having me.
I enjoyed this, and